Are you a diehard My Hero Academia fan? If so, I've got a series here that I need to recommend. What's everyone, it's Alex Light with SparkE3 Links. A phenomenal day, whatever day you're watching this video. For today's video, I want to chat about a new series here in Webtoon called Immortal Weakling. It just started on July 14th on Webtoon. It was previously on Canvas, and it's also on another website as well. But I wanted to really dive into this series just a bit here because it's really inspired a lot of My Hero Academia. So if you're a diehard My Hero fan and you just need some more content similar to it, I think Immortal Weakling might be the one for you, and I want to chat about why. But first and foremost, if you could drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend, and of course sign up to our website, SparkE3.com. You can sign up for free or sign up $5 a month. We definitely appreciate that extra support. Make sure to join the Discord. Check out all of our sponsors and partnerships, all linked down in the description below. With all that said, let's dive into Immortal Weakling. So for everything that I'm going to show here in the video today for images, I just pulled them all from the creator's Twitter, which I will be linking down in the description below. So make sure to give them a follow, show some support. And I'm also going to be linking down below the Webtoon page link for Immortal Weakling, so you can go check it out for yourself. And make sure to comment down below your thoughts on the series. Make sure to also, react to each chapter if you like it over at Webtoon. It definitely helps out the creators over there, as well as comment on their Twitter post that you're enjoying the series. Comment on Webtoon, whatever. All of that helps the creator, and helps keeps them motivated, helps keeps them going, helps them on Webtoon. I know as of right now, it's got a pretty solid review, as I'm going to throw up here on the screen, in terms of overall total rating for the series at the moment. So for Immortal Weakling, it is, as of the time of this recording, it's only 8 chapters in. And like I said, this is a lot of My Hero inspirations. It has a lot of My Hero vibes, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because My Hero is a very fun series to read. But the things about this series that makes it different and unique is just, number one, it being on Webtoon alone is going to make it more unique for a very few different reasons that I'm going to dive into here in this video, and it's going to help set different tones that My Hero can't necessarily set. And we're going to talk about that. But let's go over the description for the series here of how the creator exactly describes this webtoon. In a world dominated by powerful heroes, Tai is unkillable, and that is his greatest weakness. He is the only hero alive who can heal any injury, but he can't fight, can't grow, and can't accept his own limitations. So how can Tai live up to his dream of becoming the greatest hero? But society's heroes have grown complacent, and someone is looking to topple the world order. Now Tai and Niren, a powerful but insecure telekinetic, must hone their skills and take on the threats that lurk in the shadows. Their worldwide journey will have them fighting villains and even heroes. Can an immortal weakling ever save the day? So, episode 1 starts off with like the winner of Hero of the Year moment, kind of really establishing, just where the world is right now with heroes, because it also talks about how, crime rates are an all-time low, etc. And then it brings us to our main character, Tai, watching this news segment, and that just quick little boom, boom hits you with where we are as a society, where heroes basically got things on lock, no big deal. While Tai is watching this, you see in his pocket a failed preliminary test from obviously the heroes test that we will get introduced here soon. And then we'll get introduced to our other character, Niren, who again is an insecure telekinetic. She is working with a doctor as like a nurse's assistant right now, and she comes up to Tai and she's just like, okay, you're here to donate some organs, but it seems there's a problem with your file. It shows that you've donated 185 hearts, 179 livers, 353 kidneys, 368 lungs, and 183 pancreases. And then she's like, are you a serial killer? And just completely freaks out. You get introduced to the doc, and basically the doc says that, that Tai comes in pretty regularly, helps out, really helps fund the hospital with just organ donations. And Tai's just like waving off like no big deal. Yeah, they'll come back. It's no big deal, because you're just kind of still getting introduced to the character. There's a random villain that appears outside wanting all of their organs, whatever. Tai's like, oh yeah, it's my time to shine. He's a super energetic person, which is a very different take than what we know from Midoriya, where he is very like, he's very energetic in terms of like when we're talking about heroes, he fangirls out. But other than that, he's at the start, he's very obviously weak and shy and he keeps to himself. That's very clear at first introduction. Tai is the exact opposite. Tai is super energetic. He's kind of like an Asta. Yeah, he's kind of like an Asta where he's just like very energetic. He believes in himself, whatever. Same sort of concept. Think of Asta's personality basically in a My Hero Academia-esque world. So for Ty throws his jacket. He's like, hold on to this. It means it's something special to me, which you do find out later what that jacket actually means to him. He goes out to try to fight the villain. Villain beats the shit out of him immensely, and to even kind of give some more examples of that My Hero Academia sort of vibe and inspiration. Whenever Ty does come out there, he's like, "Fear not, everyone, I am here." And there was even a random guy in the background. It's like, "Did you just steal that from a manga?" And Ty's like, "Maybe." It's like, lame. So like those inspirations are very clear there. Ty just completely gets his shit wrecked, but he's in the mentality, it's just like, oh, why you keep fighting? It's like, because a hero never gives up. So he's got those vibes of like Asta, where he's just like, I'm not going to give up no matter what. He finally manages to land a hit on this said villain, but it does absolutely nothing. It's just like, he punches him in the face. Villain's like, wow, that was the weakest shit in the world, and completely blows him back, assumingly kills him. Nieren, who is watching this, accidentally uses her telekinetic powers in a fit of emotion, blows this said villain back. Ty's just like, he's like, all right, I'm ready for round 2. He gets back up, and she's just like, you're alive? I thought you died. He's just like, I did, but now I'm back. He doesn't even care. Death means nothing to him. The villain was actually a hero named Echo, and this was just all a test. And that's the end of chapter 1. Coming in chapter 2, the secret test is to help partake in the heroes test, which, Ty failed the prelims for. Nieren's kind of unsure about this. Ty is all super pumped. They're kind of walking and talking about being heroes. Ty's like, oh yeah, you can even be my sidekick. It'll be great. And she's kind of getting on the vibe for it, whatever. In this talk, Ty talks about how he wants to be the greatest hero. He wants to be one of the pillars. So you get introduced to the concept of the 12 pillars, aka the 12 top heroes. And of course, our hero, our main character here, wants to be one. The powers are called flares in this, and Ty breaks down his personal flare, which I'm also going to throw up a image from that chapter that the creator put up on his Twitter. So Ty breaks it down as, think of it as a video game save function. Put simply, a minute after my body gets injured, it reloads its previous save file. Even if I die, I come back to life. Why does this suck for him? Well, he says, muscles grow by slowly healing after you injure them, for example, by working out. But mine can never slowly heal. An old save gets loaded, and I'm back to where I started. I can't become any stronger than I currently am. So that is where it ties into where his flare, while it's like, oh, cool, he can never die, it's also a double-edged sword for him, because he simply can't get stronger. So it's going to be super fascinating to see how his flare evolves throughout this series, because I can only safely assume it will evolve as time goes on, and he will get stronger in some capacity. In this chapter, you also get introduced to both the parents of Ty and Nieren, or in Ty's case, just his mother, and hey, both parents are shitty in their own ways. Ty's mom is very clearly a shitty mother and does not really care about him, and it's just like, oh, are you coming here begging for money? He's like, no, of course not. I can just donate organs if I need money. It's no big deal. He's talking about the hero status. Oh, she's like, well, will you stop following that stupid dream, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. They get into a spat. And as for Nieren's parents, while they're not necessarily shitty people, they seem very kind and caring. They're very controlling and manipulative, and that is where it's going to get very interesting with both of our main characters and that parent relationship that I'm assuming will continue to get explored as the series goes on. Because in Nieren's parents' case, they basically force their ideals onto her. She comes in there, keep in mind, she was working a nurse's assistant, so clearly she's getting into the medical field. They tell her, she breaks down to her parents everything that happened, because they saw it on the news, they were worried about her, whatever. And she, Nieren's kind of like excited. She's like, oh yeah, I can take these heroes tests. I have 24 hours to respond, whatever. And they basically kind of force their ideals onto her, where it's just like, being a hero is very dangerous, blah, blah, blah. The dad's like, I thought you wanted to focus on your education and be like doctors like the both of us. And then the mom even saying, quote, being a hero would be much too dangerous. It's better to follow your own dreams. With the own being very clearly bolded, and again establishing their ideals onto her, when really she may her dreams might actually be to be a hero. The idea sounded pretty cool to her. Going on with episode 3 and onward, we do have like a little sequence with a hero called Pink Lightning and a villain fighting out. Ty and Nieren, they help save some random people. Nieren saves someone, and they're just like, "Oh, are you a hero?" She's like, "Oh no," and I'm not. And that random person's like, "Oh, well, you're my hero. You saved my life," and it kind of further is opening Nieren's eyes to maybe I do want to do this. And Ty, does his inspirational speaking stuff, and it's just like, hey, you know, I can't, you know, your dreams are your dreams. You have to follow your dreams, whatever they are. You know, I think it'd be really cool if we were heroes together, but you ultimately have to do you. And basically ends up convincing her to take the hero's test against, I guess, the parents' wills. I don't know how old these two characters are. I don't know if I missed that, but I guess in terms like Niren's case, even though she's very clearly like living with her parents under their roof and stuff, I don't know if she's like underage, but like she's just like, all right, fuck it, let's go take the hero's test. And they get on the helicopter, whatever, on, you know, they take the ladder and they're going off. So it's like, okay, yeah, don't tell your parents that you're about to be missing for God knows how long, but you know, that's it. That's, you know, that's shonen for you, right? No, but this series, it's got a very interesting premise, you know, because number one, like I said, it has a lot of My Hero inspirations, but just like, it's going to be a little bit of a darker tone. And the reason why I say that is because, like, I understand My Hero has some darkness to it. A lot of shonen does, obviously. A lot of stuff from Shonen Jump does. But you got to keep in mind what Shonen Jump is at its core, and that is, it's a magazine for teens and kids. That's what Shonen Jump is for. And let me stress, I understand Shonen Jump has those series that break that normal mold, examples being like Jujutsu Kaisen currently, Chainsaw Man, and even Ayakashi Triangle, if you haven't heard of that one. But like, that is pretty rare when Shonen Jump will dip into a more mature theme. They don't do it often, and even in the case of like Chainsaw Man and Ayakashi Triangle, Chainsaw Man, of course, you know, part 1 ended, and part 2 went to Jump Plus, which gives a lot more freedom on how the writing is done. Ayakashi Triangle, it didn't have a part 1 end or anything. It just flat out moved from Weekly Shonen Jump to Jump Plus because of Ayakashi Triangle, more mature setting. In fact, an example of that mature setting, if you use the Shonen Jump app to read all your latest chapters every week, Ayakashi Triangle was not on that app. You could only read it online because of the mature setting. Now, you could use Manga Plus and read Ayakashi Triangle, but that's it. Shonen Jump at its core is meant for teens and kids. It's ultimately what it is meant for. That is the directive that it's for, and that's the directive it's always been and always will be. While Webtoon, of course, it's people like me and you. You know, we don't, you know, we write stuff and we can do what we want, and it can be a more mature theme, as a lot of Webtoons are, whether it be language or the blood or whatever the case is. So that's why I think Immortal Weakling could be a really, really fun read, is because it's like all of the greatness of My Hero with its own unique twist and unique concepts in a more potential mature setting. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be the most mature thing in the world, but it's going to have a more mature tone than what My Hero does. And My Hero even has mature tones to it, don't get me wrong. But Webtoon's going to, with it being on Webtoon and with it being its own like series over there, it's going to be able to dial it up just a little bit more, which is going to be fun to watch, or fun to read in this case. Immortal Weakling, though, is, you know, so far 8 chapters in, it's very entertaining. They're, you know, currently they are in the test period, which is going to help decide if they're going to be able to be heroes and, you know, or get further into whatever the testing is going to be, or going to an academy or whatever the case is. Because, you know, as it stands now, the heroes are rapidly declining is what Echo said. And it's like, we need more people to partake in the test. I mean, that test that Echo did in front of the hospital was because the Hero Association there, you know, approved of his kind of off-the-wall methods to try to get more recruits because of how the heroes are declining, which, again, it brings us back to that description, back to that tease of there is someone wanting to topple the world order. So looking forward to seeing more on, like, the antagonist, on just the world building itself, and kind of where this is all going to go and where our main character is going to go, how he is going to develop with his flair, how Niren's going to develop with her flair, other characters get introduced. I'm really enjoying this read. I have now started reviewing chapters over at AniMan Plus podcast, so make sure to go listen to that as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing the future for this series. Comment down below if you end up checking it out. Comment down below if you've already checked it out and you're a fan of it. Make sure to go follow the creator over at Twitter, as well as go check out the Webtoon. Both those linked down in the description below. And I think that's it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time, guys. See ya.